Hey there people, I'm Samar Srivastav and you're watching the DareDreamR Show. So this is my very first video on YouTube, and while I was wondering that since everybody is locked down in their own houses during this pandemic caused around globally these days, I thought let's add some creative juices into their own living spaces. So I'm gonna show you how you can convert a pillar of your own living room from this to something that looks like this. Amazing, right? And you can achieve it with the cheapest material available at the nearest generic paint shops from your homes. Yay! Right? So just stick around while I walk you through the whole time lapse of how you can achieve it.
So before you jump right into painting and start painting the pillar all of a sudden, I want you to research a little bit. I want you to research and find out the appropriate reference that you would like to paint over there. I found out some of the pictures from Pinterest and created my own design in my own sketchbook, finalized my color scheme, bought the colors, 3 different sizes of brushes and 2 different sizes of rollers to create the right texture on the wall while painting. Now achieving the right consistency of color is quite simple. You just take some amount of color approximately into a container, add water gradually and keep mixing it until you reach a consistency where your brush moves a little smoothly on it. It's kind of a creamy texture you achieve in. Once you have reached the right consistency, you can take the brush and start painting the pillar. So while you are painting the first coat, I need you to realize that you need to play with the paint. You don't need to be uniform with the base coat. Why? Well, because you would be superimposing other layers over it, right? So just play with it and have fun. Now, since the first coat is done, the roller comes in. The bigger roller is more appropriate according to me to create the right texture that would resemble a stone. So I chose that, and I used the base color and mixed some white into it to create a lighter tone of the same color, and I used the roller to paint a lighter tone over the base coat, creating a dotted texture over the base coat. I repeated the steps for 2 lighter tones and 2 darker tones from the base coat. So this is how we create the texture. Now once we are done with the texture comes the drawing part. Now while you're drawing it, I need you to be extremely careful. Why? Because we can't afford any mistakes over here, because if we do that, it will only take more time to complete it, and trust me guys, it takes much more time than you would actually think to complete this one pillar. It took me around 10 days and 80 hours of efforts to complete this pillar. So be careful. There are ways you can erase your things. You need to use a pencil color, a white pencil color, to draw over the texture. And use the grid method, well, because it's easier and most precise when you're doing it for the first time. Now after the drawing is done, use the darkest paint you got and add translucent overlays of color to areas where there are shadows and white to areas where there are highlights. See how it's done. Creating the shadow can be pretty tricky. So what I need you to do is first figure out the angle at which the object is placed with regard to the light source of the room. Once you have figured that out, creating the dividing line is pretty easy, and you can create the dark space and light space accordingly. And you're done. and we're done.
This was so enjoyable to me, so creatively engaging that I loved it to the core. And if you loved it too, I would like you to hit the like button below and leave down a comment so that I may know that you liked it as well. Even if you didn't like it, I want you to leave a comment anyways so that I may know that too. Alright? And just hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be updated with the latest content that I upload here on my YouTube channel. Until next time, see you, stay safe, stay home, and if not necessary, just don't go out.